Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us on World Awakening tonight. I have a dear friend who's joining me tonight named Monique Toosoon. And some of you have probably heard of her. She's just an amazing talent and a fabulous, I think, very much an intuitive, a sensitive paranormal researcher of the highest order. And absolutely one of the prettiest people I have ever laid my eyes on. So that said, before we bring Monique onto the show, I wanted to share a little story with you today. This morning, the guy that sets up across the street on the lawn of our neighbor does every now and then does a yard sale, I guess you would call it. And he comes, he shows up, he empties his truck, he puts everything out on their front lawn on tables, and people stop and buy stuff. So yeah, I guess it would be a yard sale, even though it's not his yard. You also know, most of you anyway, that I'm in Georgia, and I'm in rural Georgia. I'm in Marjorie Taylor Greene territory, Georgia. And there are lots and lots of Confederate flags, including on his truck. I live in a place that has yet to, in a lot of ways, catch up to the 21st century. And you cope with it, just cope with it. I mean, our neighbors are perfectly lovely. Most of them, they're great. But they have their proclivities and they have their biases and they have their issues. And so we don't talk about that stuff. We just talk about the weather. It works. But anyway, he was setting up, and I told Christine, my sister, that he was setting up, and she's like, oh my God, he hasn't done that in months and months. And so my sister, whose middle name is Gladys Kravitz, reached into the coffee table, got a set of binoculars, and from our front window is looking across the street at what he's got on his table before she actually has to find something that she has to have and go socialize with him and get the best deal, the best price. It's a thing. And so all of a sudden, I'm like, Chris, what's he hanging in the trees? What is he hanging in the trees? And she was making a cup of coffee. She comes back and she's like, no way. No way. I said, Chris, he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't, or he wouldn't be hanging it. And this is what he was hanging up for sale in the front of his yard sale. A very large, very beautiful rainbow flag. So I told her to yell across the road, how much you want for that flag? And she did, and it was $2. And I'm like, sold. So I go running across the street in my unicorn slippers with $2. And I get the rainbow flag because I knew I had Monique on the show tonight, and wouldn't this be great? And when I came back, Chris said, did you tell him what it means and why no one has been stopping at his yard sale? I'm like, fuck no, let him figure it out on his own. Oh my God, never, ever would I give that away. Plus I got it for $2. I don't even owe him an explanation. So anyway, once he took the flag down, suddenly people started stopping to look at his stuff. And in the interim, I'm going to hang this up in honor of my guest tonight, Monique Toosoon. Welcome to the show, my darling. Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You are drop dead gorgeous.
Thank
which
you.
Is how we say it in Rhode Island. I'm going to go hang this behind me. Introduce yourself to everybody, okay. And, just give them a little bit of your background. And I'm going to go drape this over the two old lady recliners behind me.
Sure thing. So, hi guys, my name is Monique Toosoon. I am the ghost hunting drag queen. At least from what I'm aware of, I am the only ghost hunting drag queen in the entire world, which makes me feel pretty special. I like to call myself paranormal vodka because when you invite me to an investigation, I kind of spike the punch and the spirits react a lot differently. I add a lot of energy to the party and it brings the spirits out at a different level. And we get a lot of really fun responses to the fact that I'm in drag, like wig, eyelashes. We got an EVP one time where the ghost said he's a lady, like totally sassing me. They totally hit on me all the time too. That has happened a million times. We were in one location a few months ago in Massachusetts, and we had asked the spirits, what would you do to me right now if you could? And the word sex just came right out of the spirit box, like so loud. And it was amazing. Everybody at the party screaming. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I've been doing drag for about 20 years. And it wasn't until COVID that I decided to combine the two. And it was kind of
Merge.
yeah, I well, not even courage. I lost my bars, you know. I lost doing drag and I was like, how else can I do drag? So I said, like, let's go ghost hunting and drag and see what happens. And that first night I did, I got that EVP that said he's a lady. And then I was like, this is a calling now. You know, I've got to do this. I've got to start doing events like this. Like, you know, out of drag, I'm just a normal ghost hunter, but in drag, I'm adding a little bit of rainbow to the world of the ghost hunters.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Sorry, that was a long ramble.
No, that was great. That was wonderful. And, you know, I had the pleasure of meeting you last year. And I know that I'll be doing a number of events with you at the farm and, you know, over the coming years. And I look so forward. Were you with me the night I was doing my calling and the blue light came? Were you with me when that happened?
Yep.
That was
awesome.
something, huh?
That was really crazy. There was more than blue lights. I feel like there was other colors too.
Yeah, there were. There was a lot going on that particular night, and we were with a bunch of people out just in the parking lot of the hotel.
Yes,
and it was really amazing. And then when I said, you know, just to prove it wasn't some kind of I don't know, like some natural light from Earth made here that somebody was shining. I said, you know, lights out, gone.
Yeah, immediately.
Boom.
Do you remember the first thing you said to me that night?
No, I don't. Tell me.
You ran up to me and said, I want to be you when I grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest things ever. I remember that to this day.
Yeah, and we got some really great pictures together that night. Everybody was taking pictures of us and sending them to us. And we looked good. We did. And for as tired as I was, I don't know. It must just be your energy that brings me to life. But you know, I really enjoyed our meeting, but it was something beyond that. There was you know how when you connect with the spirits, you know, they'll seize you, you know, they'll tease you and they'll sass you, but they don't judge you.
Correct.
You know, in any way, not in any way. No. And now these are people that lived in some cases hundreds of years ago. So wherever they are, they have been enlightened to our oneness in humanity. Mm-hmm. You know, our singular, as we're coming into our spiritual ascension, I think, you know, we are achieving slowly but surely that realization of oneness and the ability to open the third eye and to view our old reality with new eyes. And I think that applies to the spirits as well. I'm hoping that there will come a time, and I think that there will, when the communication between this side and the other, and I don't believe in the veil, you know, I believe in the rainbow flag, but I do not believe that there is a veil. I think that that's a self-imposed restriction that we put on ourselves between us and spirit. But then there's a meeting place, which is what we did the whole last show about, Soul School. So if anybody's interested in liminal space, go watch the archive of Soul School. But that's really what we're talking about. And you seem to be able to merge with that liminal space, that in-between space between dimensions or realms with great ease and comfort. And that was the thing. I remember saying to you, your aura. I love your aura. Just the glow around you was just inspiring to me. And I gravitated to it. It was like you were magnetized or something. I just, boom, I was in your arms in no time at all. And, I meet like, I don't know what, 5 seconds. And I meet thousands and thousands of people. I don't react to everyone that way. I can count on 2 hands the people that are in my life that I had that instant moment of recognition. I know that soul. I know that soul.
I feel the same way.
And what took so long for us to come together again on this plane of action, knowing that everything happens in its right and proper time with purpose and reason. And this was our time to come together and to reunite.
Yep. That was a beautiful, beautiful night. I felt the exact same way. Like there was an instant connection between us. You can always feel that way. Anytime you get to know someone new, sometimes you get that connection right away and sometimes you don't. But like when it's someone like that has a deeper connection, like I feel like it's a spiritual connection and it was immediate, and it doesn't happen a lot with a lot of people.
No, it's rare, and that's what makes it so special and so beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, my producer, Bill, remember when I sent you the email with the bio and everything, and I asked you to download those several photographs of Monique? Did you do that, my darling? If you did, start putting them up, because I'm sure, I'm just sure, got to download them. Okay. All right. He's going to download them right now and then put them up. I don't know who it had to have been a professional photographer that took them. Yes.
I'll have to see which ones you have, and then I can tell you who took those. I don't even know which ones I sent. And I have so many photos. I feel like everywhere I go, I do a photo shoot.
Well, they were extraordinary. I mean, I downloaded them into my phone just to have them.
Oh,
because they were so beautiful. And now I've got a screensaver for you with one. I think I used the bathtub one.
Yeah.
It was just sexy as hell. But what? One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about tonight, and Bill will load them and then he'll let me know when they're up to show. But I think that it's important for us to talk about not just the paranormal side of your life, but how you deal with being who you are in a world and a society that for an extended period of time seemed to becoming more and more and more accepting, embracing, loving. I hate the word tolerant, like you're doing something being you that needs to be tolerated. I don't like that word. It's not about tolerance. It's about just being loved for who you are. And for the last few years before I came to help with my mom, who's in hospice here in Georgia, I was living in Florida. And the whole Don't Say Gay bill went through. I think DeSantis is, pure unadulterated evil, just my opinion.
Yeah.
And, the whole Disney thing and all of that, book banning going on. I mean, right-wing religious zealotry, extremism, to the point where I was embarrassed to say that I come from Florida. I don't really. I come from Rhode Island, which is a particularly enlightened state among many. But when the ACLU, you must remember this, about 6 months ago, put out a notification to the entire LGBTQ community and said, don't move to Florida. You're not safe. And if you live there, get out.
Yeah.
That shook me to the core. And yet, oh, okay, thank you, Bill. I'll tell you when in just a moment. I want to talk about this. But what I wanted to say that was hopeful for me is, in spite of all the vitriol, in spite of the stoked, deliberate, extreme discrimination that is going on, not just in Florida, in many places in the country. It's like a permission slip was written for every bigot and every ignorant asshole to come out of the woodwork and start attacking anybody that wasn't them. And we've been dealing with this for a number of years now. And yet, the biggest party in this country for New Year's Eve, other than obviously New York, Times Square, but the biggest party was in Key West, Florida. And even though there are literally now laws on the books in Florida about arresting, no drag shows where any kids can be with them, because oh my God, the police that were there to protect the participants didn't try to create any kind of havoc, didn't arrest anyone, and instead melded in with the revelers and celebrated New Year's Eve in Key West right along with everyone that was there to watch the fabulous drag show and the dropping of the high heel and the whole it there are some things where you've made forward momentum. It doesn't matter how hard others try to stop it. Just keep going. And if you're going through hell, just keep going.
Yes. I feel that politics were they're trying to take us back right now. They're trying to make drag illegal in places. They're trying to make drag queens look like criminals, and it's just
and pedophiles and
no, and all we are entertainment. It's essentially a clown. We go out, we perform, we make people laugh. It's ridiculous. That's what
sing
it is.
your heart out.
Yeah, it's so dumb. We're not here to go after your children. This whole reading book thing is just about spreading diversity and love around the world, and we don't reach out to do it. We usually get called for that stuff by libraries because they want to celebrate diversity, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
I have a 7-year-old
illegal in Florida now.
Yeah, I have. Oh, sorry, I said 7-year-old. I have an 8-year-old son. He lives with a drag queen, and he's not groomed at all. He never asked to do drag. He's seen me in drag, and he just tells me I look handsome. There's no grooming.
Oh, Daddy, I love the pretty colors. Yeah,
it's there's no grooming going on at all. The politicians are just trying to make us look evil right now, and it's not okay. But you know what? We're fighting back. We're barking back. Yeah. I have a little dispute going on with a politician here in New Hampshire. I can't talk about it.
Well, let me help.
Oh, okay. We'll talk after.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just, I think people just need to mind their business. If you're not living with that person or you're not involved in that person's life, then stop letting their lives bother you so much.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Or like I, like to mention frequently, of all the literature around religion. I have a degree in philosophy. I had to study every major world religion to get a degree in philosophy. And what I found in each of the major religious texts that go back thousands of years across the world is one tenet that is uniformly found in all of them. And we know it as the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Or, like I like to say, do unto others as though you are the others, because to someone you are the others.
Yeah.
So, if kindness counts, and having an open heart and an open mind, and embracing our fellow human beings as they present who they are, rather than trying to outlaw who they are. Why don't we work a little harder at trying to understand who they are, and open those lines of communication instead of shunning each other? That is, I've lived my whole life that way. I'm not up on my soapbox preaching right now, or thrilled to invite you onto my show, to say I'm this enlightened, good citizen. That, no, this is who I am, and this is who you are. And you are a radiant soul, and your beauty is generated from the core of who you are and then radiates out. And now, Bill, this is the time to show the audience these photographs.
Oh God, here we go.
Isn't that the boots? You're killing me with the boots.
And I wear those when I'm ghost hunting. That's the exact dress I wear when I go on investigations.
Oh, I love it. Well, no wonder it stirs them all up.
And that's just a cell phone photo that a friend took of me posing in Wilson Castle in Vermont.
Oh my God, honey, hold on. There was just an explosion in our neighborhood. No. Bill, take over the show for me. Take me down, and I'll be back. I'm so sorry. I gotta go find out what this is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Christine.
That was weird, eh?
What? Yeah, like that's crazy.
Do you know what happened to her earlier today?
What?
There was a plane that crashed literally a few miles from her home.
What?
And she seen it over her house as it was coming down. And yes, it crashed a few miles away.
So on another podcast I did, the power went out on the other side. I feel like I'm a curse. Like, what's going on? What's going to happen on the next one I do?
Well, let's show the other photos.
Oh, sure.
And you can, that is cool looking.
That's also at the castle in Vermont, Wilson Castle, one of my favorite places on earth. This was like a demon photo shoot. I was trying to be like dark, and I had these wings I hadn't used, and I got the horns and just had a blast. And this is just a friend taking the photos. Her name is MK Harrelson.
Now, is that site haunted?
Oh, yeah. And it's a beautiful haunting, too. It's a family haunting. This castle is owned by, I don't know, 3 generations or something of Wilsons. So it was bought back. Actually, it's probably not that many. I am totally off on the story right now. But the castle is in Vermont. It is got this beautiful family energy to it because it's been owned by this family for so long. I believe they've had it since the 20s, and I feel like I'm going to get the history wrong and they're going to hate me for this. But around the 20s sometime, and the current owner's grandfather actually is a spirit there, and his name is Colonel Wilson, and he actually hits on me when I'm there in drag. And she always like tells me this story about how he was like that dirty man at the party that would hit on anything with legs, and he was always like trying to play pranks and do things like that. So every time I go to the castle, I always try to get him to like talk to me through the spirit box. And sometimes I'll ask him to pick the color of my dress for the next event I have, and a few times I've gotten colors, so I've worn those dresses to future events.
So when you say that he communicates, do you have like voice boxes? Like, what do you use when you're on an investigation?
Oh my God, I have so many different music boxes. I have a Panabox. I have Phasma box. I have a Geoport Geo box that is in a pink toaster. I have a million different radios that we use, but my favorite one is the Panabox right now. That seems to give us the clearest answers when we're at the castle. And sometimes you hear their voices coming through it too, which is really cool.
You don't feel you do this by yourself? You don't feel intimidated going into these places by yourself and doing all this?
I'm not usually by myself. I do go with friends, or I do a lot of events. So I actually host events in drag, and people come ghost hunting with me, and I kind of take them on an experience. But so I'm usually with a lot of people, but I don't think I'd be super afraid to be alone in the castle. It's not a scary place. I don't know about like a prison, but castle, I'd be okay.
All right, let's go to the next photo.
All right. Oh yeah, same photo shoot. Outside of the castle, it's just this beautiful landscape. And the photographer was telling me to do stuff like this. I hate doing photo shoots. I feel like it's not my thing. Like, I'm not a model.
When was the first time you've had a paranormal experience?
Oh my God. When I was like
at an
7
early
years
age,
old.
like
Yeah, always. It's always at an early age. I was like 7 at my mom's house. She still lives in this house, and it's like super haunted. But there's like a land spirit. I don't know if it's quite an elemental, but it's protecting. And I woke up one night from the top bunk of a bed on the floor, and I didn't wake up from a fall, so I was asleep. And I woke up and I'm like, how the heck did I get on the floor and not wake up from this? And I went to like put my hands down, and I grabbed 2 very hairy legs and immediately laid right back down. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with this right now, and didn't move. And the thing is like, my mom was the only one home, I think, that night. And my mom does not have hairy legs. And so I was like, I don't know what's going on right now, but something, I just went back to sleep probably an hour after I woke up because I was so terrified. I just laid there forever. But that was probably my first experience. And recently I had a friend go over to my house, and she's like, I think it's a protecting spirit. I think it actually protected you from a fall to the floor and kind of put you there.
Now, you're not that house, is your mother still there?
Yeah, they still live there.
So when you go back, do you feel that there's a connection still there with you?
I don't think I'm there long enough to really get in tune. And usually when I'm there, there's a lot of people there. My family's super loud.
Yeah, I've been accused of doing the same thing. But I mean, how long have you been doing this now? Specifically in drag? I mean, is this...
So in drag, only about 3 years. And I kind of it was after COVID. I was, I went ghost hunting in drag in COVID, and the results were just really cool. And it just seemed to amp up the energy a lot. And I mean, it was incredible. And it just kind of made me think like, I need to do events like this and share this with the world. And it's kind of what I've been doing for the past couple of years. I've been kind of bouncing around and doing events. I do New Year's Eve at the Conjuring House. And I have that indefinitely. That's one of my favorite events of the years.
Wow.
Yeah, super cool. And in the past 2 years, we've had the privilege of it being warm enough out that we've been able to ghost hunt the property too. So we're not just ghost hunting inside the house on New Year's Eve. Even in the winter, we can go do the property. So which is really cool. I do a lot of events up here, mostly at the castle though.
Do you feel that people stereotype, like when you do these events, it's not just people that are part of the, the LGBTQ, or it's all types of people that go to your events, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The events are super mixed. The crowd's usually like people who are really into the paranormal, but people looking for a different kind of experience. I've had people I would never expect to come to an event with me, but I have never had a negative review of every event I've had. People say the most positive things. They say they've had the best time. Even if the night gets boring, you have a drag queen hostess. So what's going to happen? I'm going to make jokes. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make the night entertaining regardless of what's going on. I'm also going to add some flair to the evening. It's fun watching me go up the stairs in platform shoes. It's silly, but it's very serious at the same time. We don't fake anything. Everything is sincere. We do everything in our power to bring the spirits out to our guests and give them a really cool, valid experience.
Now, just for those that are just tuning in, Annie had some type of an explosion outside her house, and Monique and I are like, oh, what's going on? So hopefully Annie will be coming back and everything's okay in the neighborhood.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, she's had an eventful day, to say the least, in her immediate area. So for you, what is the scariest location you've investigated?
Oh, probably the Houghton Mansion and that's in, I believe, North Adams, Massachusetts. I believe a basketball player owns it now, so you can't even investigate it anymore. But
Wow.
it's an old Masonic temple, and it was one of the first investigations I did. So it was really a bad one to have for one of your first ones. But the place was dark as hell. The energy was whack. You didn't feel safe anywhere in this building. It was dark everywhere, and there were doors that went nowhere to closets that were tiny. It was terrifying. And the Masonic temple in there was full of crawlers and other crap, and the mediums were scaring the shit out of us, telling us all the stories of what's going on in the atmosphere. It was nuts in there.
Wow. Now, as far are you ever concerned of attachments, and what do you do before an event, an investigation, to prepare yourself for that?
I don't really do anything right now. I kind of walk towards things until they make me nervous, and then I back away. I haven't really had any negative experiences yet. Nothing's really scared the crap out of me. I definitely get saged by a friend every now and then, who cleanses anything negative off of me, but I haven't really had any attachments yet, or anything try to.
Monique, what's your take on Ouija boards?
Oh my God, I have one behind me from the Ukraine. It's beautiful.
Wow.
See if I can grab it without making noise.
You got cool stuff in the background.
Yeah, those are Elvira.
Those are definitely collectibles.
So this is,
wow.
It's wooden, and my husband had it made for me as like a Christmas gift.
Wow. That is cool. Even though I'm a little cautious when messing around with those. I was with my cousin when I was 13. We started messing with it, and a picture frame fell off the wall. My cousin threw it in the closet and put a lock. That was the last time I ever touched a Ouija board.
Oh my God.
Do you ever use? Is it more for entertainment purposes, or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had the calling to use it yet, but if it calls me someday, I'll use it. I'm not afraid of it. I think it's intent. Everything's intent.
Did you now when you go to these locations, especially you seem to be more focused on the New England area?
Yeah.
Are we talking? What type of spirit or entities are we talking about? Is it historical in nature, like officers? Like what are the type of spirits that you've encountered up there?
So it's so varied. There's one location alone that I can tell you we get sailors at, because there's war artifacts in it's like a mansion. There's a crazy old lady in the same place. There's a little boy. Across the street is a haunted toy museum, so they have all these old freaking creepy ass toys. And then the top floor of this museum, a gay guy actually killed himself. There's so much different energy between just those two buildings. The castle is all family. You feel like a very sense of like it's historical in that sense. The family, the Johnsons that own the castle before the Wilsons. So it's like a generational spiritual thing. So we have the Johnsons and the Wilsons in that castle. And then we have like these weird spirits that come through that don't really belong, and we can't quite figure out how they get there. And then like the Conjuring house, there's the soldiers that are on the property. And then there's that heavy presence that lurks outside, of course.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at the chat, and a lot of people are like saying that your events are awesome. They're great.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. Thomas says your events are great. And Melissa says we need a photo shoot of Monique at the farm. Have you ever done any photos at the farm at the Conjuring for New Year's Eve?
There's definitely photos from the event, but I don't think I've done like shots there, like had someone take my photos there.
Yeah, they even say, can you imagine a gorgeous photo shoot of Monique at the farm during Christmas? I mean, they're all mermaids in the mountains. Says Monique events are the best. Yeah, just a lot of great positive comments coming in from the chat room. So what kind of events? Because we have about 15 minutes left. Hopefully Annie will be coming back before then. What kind of events do you have coming up?
So right now I have a couple of different events booked for the castle. I don't really have any other locations booked right now. I kind of kept my schedule clear for a little bit. So I'm doing 3 events at the castle. One's in June, and at that event I have Ron and Lourdes, who created Scatacom. Yeah, they're coming up.
They're cool. From Entity Voices.
Yes, I love them. They're wonderful people.
They are.
really cool. I cannot wait to collaborate with them. I just met them like this past September at Paracon, and like my mind was blown over Staticom. Like, I am a radio nerd when it comes to that ghost hunting equipment. So Staticom blew my mind, how clear you could hear voices coming through it, sentences, conversations. Like, it was so nuts. So I'm like, we got to get this up to the castle. So I booked them, and it's actually my birthday party as well. So it's June 22nd. And I also have Sam Baltrusis, who is like my paradad. He's from a couple of different shows. Hey, beautiful.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Is everything okay?
There was some kind of a gas explosion within about, I don't know, it shook this entire house. And I didn't even bother coming back on until all the cop cars and the
God.
ambulances and everything came through. You wouldn't have even been able to hear me. This like 4 hours after I was outside in the backyard, and a plane came right directly over the house, and it was so low I could see the pilot. And I thought, what the hell is he doing flying his little one-engine Cessna that low? And he crashed about a mile from here.
Oh my
God. And was killed. So I was the last person to see him alive.
Wow.
It's just been one of those days. And I could tell he was in trouble. I could tell he was in trouble. I knew there was something wrong with the plane, and it came right. I had the dogs out back in the playpen, and it came right directly over the house. And it looked like he was coming in for a landing, and there isn't any airport directly around us. This is a very rural area. And yeah, about 5 minutes later, he crashed right in downtown Villa Rica.
Now, before I leave, Monique, is there a website where the castles for more information for this event? Because
MoniqueToosoon.com.
I'm sorry?
Oh, MoniqueToosoon.com.
Excellent, because that's in Vermont, correct?
Yes.
And the due date is June
22nd.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys, we got like 15 minutes.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. Oh, honest to God, one of those bizarre days. Just bizarre stuff happening around.
It happens every time I do a podcast.
Are you blaming yourself for a plane crash and a gas explosion? Okay. I'm actually, located a little closer. So, I could take the blame myself, but yeah, it's just, that was bizarre. And I couldn't even come back on because there were so many emergency vehicles flying in front of this house. I wouldn't have even been able to hear you, but it shook the entire house.
Wow.
Everybody in this neighborhood is out of their houses right now talking to each other, which is, one way to get to know your neighbors. But, honest to God, very bizarre, very bizarre. But anyway, I'm so glad. See, the nice thing about Bill is that he is the magic man behind the curtain, and he can just step right in and take over instantly, which he did. So yeah, I'm glad for that, but I am sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no worries.
So you're talking about this event that you're going to be doing in Vermont?
Yeah, the castle. Have you heard of Wilson Castle?
Yes, I have not been there.
I know, we got to get you there. That would be fun to bring you there.
It would be fun. And have you ever been to Gillette Castle on the Connecticut River?
No.
Okay, they have really big events there, and they have haunted events there too.
Oh, really?
I'll get my agent Greta on that and see if we could pull together an event up there. And then also I have my friend who's got a fabulous theater, the Alley Theater in Middleborough, Mass. And I'm going to, it's right at the mouth of the Cape. And it's about an hour outside of Providence. And we should do a show together there.
We should. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Every time I go, I pack the place, and it's just, these people are so great. They're so embracing and so curious and, fascinated by everything. And my friend Lorna Brunel owns the theater, and she will be thrilled to meet you. Thrilled to meet you. So we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, I would love that.
Give a heads up to, I have a family that lives out there. I call them the Brady Bunch. Their youngest son is named Brady, but they're the Baldwin family. And I love this whole family like they are my own. And so they'll have the table right in front in the corner, the big round table that they completely fill. That's kind of a given. They'll be our first guests, and we'll get lots of applause and lots of laughter and lots of fun. One of the things that I so appreciate about you is your sense of humor, which is closely akin to my own.
Yes.
So we get each other,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think we should take our little show on the road, don't you?
That would be amazing.
It would.
The Mo and Andrea show.
I know. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be so cute.
Something? So what do you plan on doing with this almost like, you're like the queen of multitasking,
That's a good way to put it, actually.
It's like when I put the link up, I put the link up that said, some people think that life's a drag. Let them see the light. So there is light around. I've been a fan of drag since I was a teenager. I used to go into Providence when I lived in Rhode Island. There were a couple of really great bars there. And then when my family sold the farm and we moved to Georgia, my sister Christine, who I'm here with my mother, we would go into Atlanta because there were several great drag bars there, really great, including the Far Library and there were actually several. And it was hard to decide which show we wanted to go see on any given night. And the talent that just oozed from these performers. One thing that I wanted to ask you, when you are in Monique mode, how is that different for you? Is it more liberating? Is it more creative? Is it, how is it different when the makeup is perfect and the wig is on and the dress and the boobs are in place and everything is rocking? How do you feel?
I feel more empowered. I definitely feel like my aura explodes when I'm in drag. And I feel like when you do an investigation, something like a trigger object like a drag queen, you're going to get a completely different investigation out of that. And like we have been investigating the same way for the past 20 years. All the TV shows, everything, they're all the same. No offense, love every single person on all of these shows, but they're kind of all the same. There's no spunk, there's no sass. And that's what I want to bring to this world. I want to bring ridiculousness. I want to bring color, not just black clothing. Like, come on, you can go hunt in pink. The ghosts don't mind.
Yeah, they don't mind.
They don't mind at all.
In fact, I think they love it.
They do.
I do, because, back when they were alive, they didn't really have the options that we do in terms of self-expression through our garments.
Yeah.
Even though I'm all, pretty much in black tonight because, black. It has a lovely slimming effect on camera. It really does. But, I thought that that's how you would answer that question. I did, that you feel like you're stepping really into your own skin.
Yeah. Just changing things and just adding some explosive color to the very black world of the paranormal. It's very just dark and black. That's it. You never see color. They're always wearing black and jeans and nothing else. And it's time to add some flair to the world and have more fun with it. The spirits react when you're having fun, I feel. If you're having fun, they have more fun with it. And this kind of tied into something you were talking about earlier about like spiritual connection. And I was in like Sweet Spring Sanitarium, and there was actually a spirit in there of a cross-dresser that had been institutionalized. And we figured this out, and it was so weird. And we were led to the room where this cross-dresser was. And when we got to this room, we opened up the drawers because a lot of the stuff was still there. It was like left abandoned, essentially. And we started pulling open drawers, and there's like really large women's clothes in them, like tall. and like knickknacks and like journals and stuff about this cross-dresser from there. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool connection to make with a spirit, you know? Like no one else is going to make that connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm sure that, did you have actual interaction with that spirit, or were you just able to see the things, the accoutrement, and just acknowledge that person?
Yeah, we were led there for a reason. We were definitely led to this room, me and my friend Nora, who's a medium. And we were just kind of in the men's ward at Sweet Springs, and our REM pod was going bananas, like really crazy. And we were just led to that room, and then we figured all this stuff out, and we're like, so weird. And I actually, you know, got really sick that next day after that event. I feel like I may have let too much of my energy go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Or there was perhaps some attachment that took place. I've had people tell me where they've investigated the farmhouse, and I warn everybody, do not ever, ever provoke at the farmhouse. Never do that. And there was a group, I won't say who, very well known, that went in there and did an investigation, and I did the first night with them for a TV special. And but then I left, and they stayed for several more days, and they were good as gold while they were with me. But after I left, they started bringing other people in, different energies, and they started poking and prodding the spirits, which is incredibly disrespectful. And they all got so sick that they had to miss their next 2 shoots for their series because they couldn't function. They were so ill from being at the farmhouse. And, you know, so people think that those kinds of physical manifestations cannot occur. And yeah, I am here to tell you, absolutely, yes, they can. For me, living there, I felt drained a lot. Like my energy had literally, you know, and I was a teenage kid. I should have been loaded with energy all the time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. I felt zapped. Like so I had been somehow tapped into, and my energy had been taken.
Well, there was no place to escape your energy drain.
Right. Exactly.
You were just always being drained.
Yeah. And it was not just me. It was literally everybody in my family would go through periods like that, and would have, you know, close encounters with spirits, and then have nothing left, you know, like needed help walking down the stairs. They were so tired. My sisters, my mother too. And yet there were times that the house was so active, we were afraid to go to sleep, afraid to go to bed, you know, afraid to separate from each other, because being together felt like safety. You know,
it's
yeah, but yeah, we need to go to the farm together. We need to do some work together. I don't investigate per se, because for me, it's like I'm looking for something that I already found a long, long time ago. And so I don't have anything to prove. So I don't investigate, I communicate. Okay. It's an entirely different thing. But I would like to see your methodology and witness what you stir. And I would like you to see my ability to communicate with the spirits that I literally grew up with, and feel a tremendous fondness and love for, even the cranky ones.
I would love, 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 love that. I would love to see the house react to you. The house reacts beautifully to me. It does nothing bad to me. It is all wonderful.
Yeah. Isn't it magical? It's such an incredible place.
And the property is just so maze-like, but beautiful. You know, you could get lost out there, but it's just so beautiful out in the woods. I love that we can ghost hunt in the woods there in the nighttime, and it's a little creepy, but it's very active outside.
Oh yeah, the property itself, the barn, the house, and the property is all very active, uniformly active.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. There was no, as a child, and dealing with the unknown of the place, and the fear that was kind of baked into that. There was no escape. There was no place to go except literally to get on the school bus and go to school. And
Yeah.
can only be there so many hours a day, and then you have to come home and deal with it all over again. But it was also the most amazing way to grow up. Absolutely phenomenal way to grow up.
Yeah.
And so I would love to share some of those stories and some of those experiences, and then have the freedom also to be able to introduce you personally to my spirits,
Oh
to
my God, yes.
that would be lovely and wonderful. And I'm so sorry we blasted, no pun intended, blasted through this hour. But I
Okay,
am
well,
sure all my viewers are madly in love with you. And so you have to agree right live on the air that you will come back, and we will just continue our conversation.
100%.
Wonderful.
And you're coming on Ghost and Glitter soon.
I am. You have to text me and tell me exactly when, so I can put it on my calendar, because I don't think we set it. Maybe we did. Did we set an exact?
No, but we'll
Okay,
get it.
let's do that.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Contact me over the weekend, but not during the Super Bowl. Okay.
So you're a football fan.
Oh, honey, I played professional football for the sister team to the Patriots. I was the eldest player in the whole country.
Oh my
They
God.
recruited me to play when I was 44 years old.
Wow.
I played nose tackle, and special teams too.
Who are you rooting for?
I am absolutely rooting for Kansas City.
Oh no, my husband's gonna be so mad at you.
I'm so sorry. No,
He's
tell him I'm so sorry. But there's like the odds are 50-50. So if the 49ers win, I will celebrate for him. And I would expect the same consideration when Kansas City takes the trophy home.
I'm sure he will, from where he's going to be.
Well, bless you, and thank you so much for joining me. And again, I'm so sorry for the interruption. There was nothing to be done for it, and I just hope that whatever happened, that everybody's okay.
It's okay. It's not our last time together.
It's not. It's one of the first.
Yes.
And you are a blessing and a treasure in my life, and I just adore you.
Thank you.
Did Bill show all the great pictures of you?
He
as
sure
the Dark
did.
Angel and everything? Okay, great. Wonderful. And so again, just before we go, say your website and how people can find you.
I am Monique Toosoon on everything: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can also find me at MoniqueToosoon.com, and that is where you can find tickets for my events and what's coming up in my life. And you can also see me on Dark Echoes episode 2 on Amazon Prime, and something else is coming soon.
Excellent. Yeah, there is for me too. We'll talk.
Yes.
Okay. I love you, darling. Thank you for
you.
joining us, and for all of our viewers. Sorry for the upheaval. I hope that you enjoyed Monique's company as much as I did. And I love you all. And remember to always be the beacon, be the change that you wish to see in the world, and always, always be the light you seek. I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Go, Casey. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye.